Hello, hello. Welcome to my Facebook Live. Oh, today's a great day to join me. Let me set the stage for this, and let me make sure my audio is working, because that's happened far too many times that I gave a beautiful teaching. Yay, it is. Okay, welcome. No idea what to expect here, but this is what I'm going to tell you about today's teaching. Number one, first and foremost, I made a commitment to myself and my source that I would teach every single week. And I would show up in that connection and in that vulnerability and in whatever I felt called to teach. I didn't want to do that this week or today. I've been moving through so much. And even right now, my heart is so stretchy, expanded, full, opening, raw. And in the past, I've always really just allowed myself to be in my process and come back and teach after my process. But today I felt a really deep urge to just share with you what it's like in this moment, and hope that as I move through this, you can move through it with me on whatever level or capacity or desire you have to do that. So today I want to talk about deepening into that raw, ooey gooey, unconditional kind of love for yourself. Hi, Tia, for source, letting yourself be held through it all, and what real, true, unconditional love looks like. But also, because the theme of my whole week has been following the joy, following the miracles, allowing yourself to receive and open, I want to talk about the human 3D pain that can come with opening, with allowing, with stretching, with expanding, with following the joy. Because I think a lot of people, myself included, we get on this healing journey and we follow these vibrations. But these vibrations and these feelings and these labels like joy, happiness, love, abundance, unconditionality, they all also come with conditions, but these conditions were based on our past experiences. They were based on our past learnings, our past traumas, our past woundings, right? So we say follow the joy, and sometimes when we say that, we feel called to spiritually bypass ourselves and say that if I was truly following the joy, I wouldn't be feeling this, and none of that is true. When you're living life unconditionally, and unconditional love for yourself, for source, and for others, both able to give and receive that love, it means that you meet joy, happiness, wealth, abundance, all the ooey gooey vibrations wherever you're at. And your pain, your sorrow, your grief, your trauma, if it needs to have room and space there, it can. They don't cancel each other out. They are all different vibrations. They are all energy. They are all a part of the puzzle, creating deepening and expansion. And right now, especially as we had the new moon in Aries, as we have Pluto going into Pisces, as we have all of these different movements and shifts and changes coming, or Pluto going into Aquarius, I'm sorry. And we have this different eclipse season coming up until May 5th. We're in a really huge portal. What we're doing is we're transitioning from a more 3D/4D, depending on where you're at on your healing journey, into a more 5D kind of cosmic living experiencing. And in order to do that, in order to expand into these higher vibrations, into these higher feelings, into this deeper momentum, we are being faced with all the pieces and parts of ourselves that we feel don't have room up at the top. But the biggest thing that I have learned on my healing journey is there's room for all of me. There's room for all of you. There's room for your grief and your sorrow. There's room for your joy and your bliss. There's room for your love and your fear. There's room for it all. But when you meet it with conditionality, that's when we sink back into the 3D. It's when you meet it with full heart opening, full acceptance, full love. that's when you transition into that 5D way of living. We are here in this human experience, having these sensations as part of that experience. When we transcend Earth, we are living in vibration that doesn't have all of these different feelings, all of these different vibrations. It's a very neutral state of being. And the things we do feel there are very different than the human emotions and experiences we do feel here. And I think we've been taught as a society for so long that those lower vibrational energies like fear and doubt and trauma and all of those things simply don't have room in this higher vibrational state. But that's the whole point of alchemy, right? It's by opening and allowing, not pushing away or hiding, but opening and allowing that you can transmute it and create a deeper level of love, a deeper level of joy, a deeper level of intimacy with. This last week, I'm super emotional today, so I'm probably going to cry the whole live, and that's okay. But this last week, I've been really faced head on with unconditional love, unconditional receiving, both from myself, from my source, and from my partner. And it has been so physically and emotionally painful. And my very first response or reaction was to blame myself, to see all the faults in myself, to see all the ways that I didn't feel good enough, worthy enough, that I hadn't healed enough. But it's through that opening and expanding and through connecting with source. If you saw my post this morning, that deep connection with source, you guys, will lead you through anything. And it's through that conscious connection with that higher part of me that I was able to open up to see that all of my trauma, all of my pain, all of the things that I was trying to push away actually created a lot of the capacity of love I currently have. It's allowed me to reach my clients on a different level, to connect and relate to different people from all walks of life, because I felt a similar pain and vibration as them. And none of that is wrong or bad. It's the way that we as humans have learned to alchemize and transmute things into that deeper, greater love. I've told me and my kids have talked about this all the time, because the three of us have in the past had a really hard time fitting in and connecting and creating connections, especially as we transitioned into a different kind of lifestyle. And one of the things I realized is that when you've seen the world through hard experiences, through pain and through trauma, you see the world through a whole different lens, because it's allowed you to deepen. It's allowed you to see the way that you have been tenderized by the violence, by the way that you have been stretched by the pain. And it's through keeping that sacred conscious connection through every part of life that allows us to open to these bigger and wider experiences. It's through the ways that we react and respond to the harder things in life. If we can open up to them and alchemize them into those higher vibrational feelings of love, or if we close down to them and push them away, that kind of keep us anchored into that vibration. It doesn't feel good to face those uncomfortable situations and open up, because what we've done is we've created a ton of walls all of around us. These walls are our judgments. These walls are our conditions. These walls are our shoulds and shouldn'ts. We've created all of these walls around ourselves. And what we've ended up doing is shutting ourselves out from that eternal, limitless, never-ending supply of light and love and energy that's available to us at all times. We've allowed our pain, our experiences to change the way we perceive the world. And so we've built those walls and shut ourselves off and separated ourselves from that higher consciousness and unconditional love. And I think there's a time and a place for that on your healing journey, when you really have to go inside and you really have to find the power. But there's also a time for you to open up. There's a time for you to come out. And it's through relationships and life experiences and getting back on the horse after you've fallen off that allow you to really test your own muscles, your own heart expansion, and be able to face the parts of yourselves that you have maybe hidden away or guarded away, right? The brighter that light shines on us, the more shadows are revealed. And instead of pushing ourselves down or closing ourselves off, we can open ourselves up to let it all in, to let it all be seen, to be heard, to be experienced. And it's through doing that that we can begin to follow joy and miracles, because we can see that joy and miracles and abundance are available to us now and always. When we close ourselves off by things we're feeling or experiencing, we close ourselves off to the joy and love available to us. You're not bypassing your suffering by still continuing to find joy and miracles along the way. You're just anchoring yourself into it. But if you can open and allow yourself to alchemize it all, you create more and more and more of the things that you want to see. And you show those parts of yourself, that your pain, that your fear, that your trauma, that all of the parts of you that maybe don't feel worthy actually are, that you are worthy right here and right now, exactly as you are. We hold ourselves to such high standards. I know for me, my standards for me are way the fuck up here. And then my standards for other people are way down here. We don't need to have standards for any of it. Unconditional love and living from the vibration of unconditional love means come as you are. I receive you as you are. I see you as you are. I accept you as you are, because that's what the universe does for us. The universe doesn't have standards. It's why I believe that in so many religious texts and teachings, they tell you all of these standards, because if you guys are anything like me, you know that all of our powerful things, our sexuality, our worthiness, our gender, all of these things are oppressed. They are taught that they are bad and they are wrong. But when we can instead say, God has no judgment other than wanting us to be perfectly content and happy exactly as we are. The universe is only objective for us is to live life in a state of joy. All week this week, every morning I channel a message, and every single week it goes like this. All we want is for you to live in a state of unconditional joy as you are. All we want is for you to be able to drop the judgments and the conditions and the standards that you view your life with, and live from a state of joy as you are. It's us that have put these cages around us that have prevented that. There's nothing you have to do, nothing you have to be, nothing you have to achieve in order to receive the joy and the miracles that are waiting for you. You simply have to open up to them. Let's all sit here for a minute and just breathe together in the knowing and the vibration that right here, as you are enough. Put your feet flat on the floor. Let's take a big deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth, in through your nose, out through your mouth. And I want you to close your eyes with me. And I want you to feel that beautiful, white, unconditional, loving presence pouring into you. Your feet firmly rooted into the earth. And I want you to feel in your entire being that you are worthy now. That the universe wants you to experience joy and miracles and magic now. Whether you are feeling the highest vibrational loving energy, or you are sitting on the couch sobbing, you are worthy now. Whether you feel like you've done anything to contribute to anything today, or you feel like you have done nothing, You are worthy now. And I hope that as you move through the rest of this day, you can remember that joy and miracles and love and abundance in all form is ready to join you in this existence, in this moment. There's nothing you have to do other than open to receive in whatever state you're in. I know it feels hard. I know it feels scary. I know that your ego and even your trauma or pain body might throw every single obstacle up to try to show you otherwise. And I also know that love always prevails. When you can tune in to the unconditional loving vibration that the universe is constantly showering down onto you, everything will shift. You'll be able to alchemize it all. You'll be able to see your enoughness, your worthiness, your lovableness. And it's going to feel uncomfortable, and it's all okay because our heart is stretching and our soul is expanding in this 3D vessel so that we can stand in that conscious 5D state. And I love you and I see you, and I'm grateful that you're here on this journey with me. And I know you can do this. It's been hard for me. It's okay if it's hard for you. It's also okay if it's really easy for you, right? We want to create as much joy and magic as possible through all the things that we're going through, and it's all okay. So remember to breathe deep and plan on miracles, and that you are held and divinely loved in this moment and in all moments. And I'll see you guys next week for another yummy inspired teaching. Thanks for joining me. Have a beautiful day.